Well, we're obviously all very eagerly anticipating Tuesday's publication of Spare, but it's actually been leaked early to the Guardian newspaper, interestingly, a left-wing anti-monarchist newspaper, and there's some pretty startling revelations in it. The headline one that they have chosen to go with is that William allegedly physically assaulted Harry in a row over Meghan and the whole kind of debacle that was going on between the two families that resulted in him falling over and hurting himself on a broken dog bowl. And there's a second, I think, quite slightly sad revelation, which is that at Prince Philip's funeral in 2021, apparently the then Prince of Wales, Prince Charles, pleaded to his warring sons to not make his last years on earth miserable with this rancour between them. And I think quite a lot of people might, if you really stop and pause to reflect on that, I think Harry might not come out of that particularly well, because to report a private conversation made by his father, who was grieving his own father's death, I mean, you know, does show that Harry will go to any lengths to try and be, as he says, as kind of raw and unflinchingly honest as he can. There's also a second set of leaks actually in New York to Page 6, which is a kind of entertainment and gossip column out there. And in that there is another accusation that Harry makes in the book, which apparently is that William and Kate discussed his decision to wear a Nazi outfit infamously in 2005 and you know, said, oh yeah, go and wear that one, and thought it was quite a hoot. Now, that's very plausible. Possibly that did happen. But what I think you've got to remember at the time, that Harry was a man of 20. He'd just been given a gun and was at Sandhurst training to become an army officer and a man dedicated to fighting his country. And I think surely you should be able to take responsibility for your own actions then. You know, he was a grown man at the time. And there only seems one reason to me to kind of drag William and Kate into this, and that's really out of spite. And I think some people might read that, and again, Harry doesn't come across so well out of that. Well, interesting actually, we've also seen another clip from ITV of the interview that Harry has given to Tom Bradby to publicise the book. And in it, he's asked whether he might attend his father's coronation. As I revealed before Christmas, there was an open invitation, or there is an open invitation for him to do so. And he said, well, a lot can happen between now and then. But he made clear in quite a kind of menacing way that he feels that he needs to have an open and honest conversation with his family before he could consider that happening. I mean, how will this play out over the next few weeks? I mean, we really need to see the book in its entirety, because the one thing that has always struck me is that, I mean, Harry's story's been told by a lot of people other than him already. So does he have the right to tell it himself? I think he probably does. Is he wise to be doing so? I think that's a very different question. But he makes a point in the saying that in the blurb for this book that he wants it to be an honest account. And at the moment we've seen him again fire a lot of brickbats towards other people, but not really take a great act. It doesn't seem to be a great act of self-reflection. There's no doubt the Buckingham Palace did mishandle the situation on occasions, but there doesn't seem to be attempts so far for Harry or Meghan to take accountability for the mistakes that they have made. And I think by kind of constantly throwing out these brickbats at his family for money, he'll get accused of the kind of rank hypocrisy and dishonesty that he's accusing them of. So again, I think we need to see the book in its entirety, because of course we may hear some humility from Harry, we may hear some admittance that he may have made mistakes along the way, but at the moment there doesn't seem to be a lot of that.